The NFL, what a league. It doesn't sleep. It's late, but we have a lot to talk about. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now. My name is Chase Sr. Some breaking news on this Tuesday night, day 2 of NFL free agency. We were live earlier on the channel. Thanks to everybody who hung out for about 3 hours. Couple of videos up on the channel. The most recent one, RIq Woolen to the Eagles. 1 year, $15 million. A great move for general manager Howie Roseman. He's going to be a high upside starting perimeter corner opposite of Quinyon Mitchell. And this Eagles corner trifecta of Quinyon, Cooper DeJean, RIq Woolen could be really, really good in 2026. Plus, I really like the value. 1 year up to $15 million for a guy who is long, lengthy, good scheme fit, 6'4", double-digit pass breakups every year he's been in the NFL. Plus, he runs in the 4.2s. And I think Vic Fangio can have a lot of fun with him. Anytime there is breaking Eagles news, I'm always going to talk about it. That's why you hit that subscribe button. I also launched a brand new NFL show and channel called The Chase Down. And nothing is changing here on Eagles Now. Still going to be talking about the Eagles every single day year-round, providing all of you with great content. But I just want to talk about the NFL on a national scale. And that's what the Chase Down allows me to do. So I'd appreciate it if you go on over there and you hit that subscribe button. As for what we're talking about right now, the Maxx Crosby trade is dead. The Baltimore Ravens have backed out. And the Eagles signing 2 more players in free agency. They didn't make a move on day 1. They have signed 3 players on day 2. Let's talk about this Maxx Crosby trade fallout on my way home from work. So this came as an absolute shock to everybody. Friday night, Las Vegas Raiders trade one of the top defensive players in football, Maxx Crosby, to the Baltimore Ravens in exchange for a 2026 first-round pick and a 2027 first-round pick. And I like this move for both sides because for Las Vegas, this helps you kickstart your rebuild. That roster is very barren. It's very thin. They need a lot of playmakers. And they were looking at 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years. You get your quarterback with the number 1 overall pick, then you get playmakers around him. You pair him up with an offensive-minded head coach and play caller. And this is a Raiders team that hasn't won a playoff game since 2003. So in being able to build through the draft, if they hit on those picks, I thought it was going to help them really kickstart their rebuild. But now that the Baltimore Ravens back out, what do the Raiders do? What is this trade price now for Maxx Crosby? Which teams are in? Which teams are still out? What do the Raiders do? Do they bring him back? What can they get back for Maxx Crosby? Because here's the news. He failed his physical. And when I was talking about a Crosby trade here on Eagles Now, I kept saying, I don't want the Eagles to make this move. I'd rather the Eagles try to bring back Jalen Phillips, younger, more productive, not as expensive. And I worried about Crosby, soon to be 29, has ended the last 3 years injured, coming off a meniscus surgery. Great player, a lot of concerns though. You'd have to give up a lot. Ravens gave up 2 first-round picks at the time, and you'd have to pay him a lot of money. So Maxx Crosby was in town in Baltimore today, taking his physical, and he posted about this on his Instagram story. A photo from a hotel of him looking at M&T Bank Stadium. That's where the Ravens play in downtown Baltimore. And he failed his physical. So the knee did not check out. Moving forward, other teams and medical staffs could have different opinions of that knee. But for Baltimore, it didn't check out to a point where they wanted to go through with the trade. So Baltimore backed out of the Maxx Crosby trade. It has been canceled. It has been nullified. And I'm interested to see what teams are now back in for a Maxx Crosby trade. Could it be the Eagles and Howie Roseman? They were looked at as a team that could be interested in him. And there were some rumors around that Philadelphia was at least poking around on a potential Crosby deal. Now that they don't have to give up 2 first-round picks with Howie Roseman, knowing that there are some medical questions, be interested once again. How this plays out is going to be absolutely wild. I had a full reaction to this whole Maxx Crosby trade, which I put up on the Chase Down. Be sure to check it out. I'll link that show here on this edition of Eagles Now. So that's the Crosby situation. Insane. As far as some other moves that the Eagles made, they signed tight end Johnny Mundt. He is 31 years old, UDFA out of Oregon. He is looked at as one of the better blocking tight ends in the National Football League, and the Eagles really missed that last year. They didn't have a tight end who was a high-level blocker. Dallas Goedert took some steps down, and his blocking abilities were diminished for whatever reason. And Grant Calcaterra, incapable of blocking. That's never been a part of his game. He's more of a pass catcher who kind of is dangerous and athletic when he's going down the seam, but he's a pretty limited tight end. More on Calcaterra in a moment. But in the run game, even in the pass game, the Eagles missed having a tight end who could block at a really high level. And Johnny Mundt is that type of tight end. He is not going to wow you as an athlete. He is not going to put up crazy production as a pass catcher, but he is a steady blocking force. Eagles are signing him to a 1-year contract. Of note, he played under Sean McVay with the Los Angeles Rams, helped the Rams win a Super Bowl during that 2021 season when they beat Joe Burrow and the Bengals. So he's got scheme familiarity with what Sean Mannion is bringing Philadelphia. He also played under Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. He is a Sean McVay protege. And who did the Eagles also hire from Kevin O'Connell's staff? Chris Cooper, the offensive line coach. So there are a lot of ties with Johnny Mundt coming to Philadelphia and Sean Mannion introducing this new scheme and this new offense. Mundt knows it. He's played in it for several years. He was with the Rams for a few years. He was with the Vikings for a couple of seasons. And I know this past year he was with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Another player who the Eagles missed last year blocking-wise, Johnny Wilson. And so hopefully he can come back and he can help Philadelphia's receiving core in the blocking department. Another tight end who the Eagles are signing to a 1-year deal, they are bringing back Grant Calcaterra. I don't really like this move. Calcaterra is a solid athlete. He's a good pass catcher, but he blew so many assignments as a blocker this past season. It's never been a strength to his game, and it really hurts the Eagles. In this Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur type of offensive system, you'll see some 12 personnel. McVay this past year was running a lot of 3 tight end sets. But he's going to ask these tight ends to block, or at least that offense is. And Grant Calcaterra is just an awful blocker. The effort isn't there, the awareness isn't there, the physicality isn't there either. So I don't know what the Eagles are thinking here. They brought in and signed 2 tight ends today who are depth pieces. What does this mean for Dallas Goedert? They could easily go Goedert, Calcaterra, Mundt. And when they are going heavy, it's a bug almost flew in my eye, or they want to run the football, or they're in goal line packages, or short yardage situations, they can use Johnny Mundt at their disposal, and he can certainly help them from a blocking standpoint. Calcaterra cannot. But does this mean that Dallas Goedert is gone? Can the Eagles bring him back? Because Dallas Goedert has been such an underrated player for this Eagles team. Pass catcher, blocking, has that rapport with Jalen Hurts. He is a really good player, and over time he's become a little bit underrated. Has played in so many big games for the Eagles and has played well in a lot of these games for the Eagles. So Mundt, Calcaterra, that's the tight end room right now. Cam Latu, we'll see if he's a part of the equation. I know some people would like to see Johnny Wilson converted to a tight end. I kind of like having a guy who's 6'6" and can win on the outside with physicality, who can go up and get it, climb the ladder at that wide receiver spot. So I don't necessarily think you need to switch him to tight end, although with his blocking ability, I think he's got potential to be a good one. Cam Latu, to me, is more of a fullback. But interesting stuff for Philadelphia today. RIq Woolen, 1 year up to 15. Incentives would take it up to 15 if he played really well. He's just such a good fit in this defense. Runs so well, really sticky coverage. Even if he gets beat, he can use that 4.2 speed to catch up to you. Plus, he's so long where he can make plays on the football, was the NFL interceptions co-leader as a rookie in 2022, actually tied CJ Gardner-Johnson and Justin Simmons for the league lead in interceptions that year. And then Johnny Mundt, Grant Calcaterra back to the Eagles, and this crazy story with Maxx Crosby. I will be live once again on Eagles Now. Hope to see all of you there. I'll have a video in the morning. Kind of want to dive more into this RIq Woolen acquisition and take a look at some more in-depth numbers on top of the instant reaction video that I did. We're also going to be dropping some Howie season shirts on the channel. Working on a design right now with our guy Arnold, and they're looking really fresh so far. And right now it is Howie season. I told everybody, don't panic that he didn't make a signing day one. He's waiting out the market. He's letting other teams overpay and splurge, which could cost them in the long run. He let other teams dictate the market so that he could swoop in and sign RIq Woolen to a very affordable contract, which I think is a steal. So I'll talk more about that tomorrow. All right, almost home. Appreciate y'all for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're bringing you all types of content. Grind never stops. It's late, but it's free agency. Too much to talk about.